Hey Taurus, it's Meg with Padmes, and I am doing your full Moon Lunar Eclipse Energy reading for the end of May 2021. And we're going to look at the Wise Old Tree spread. So really it's going to be an overall energy check, doing some clarification. We're also going to pull a yes or no card at the end and ask the Angel Oracle. So we're calling in our angels and guides of the highest vibrations of love and light, because I don't want to talk to anyone else. Calling in Archangel Gabriel. And I am asking for Taurus energy. There's another card in here. Here we go. Okay, Taurus, what's going on? For some reason, I keep needing to shuffle, so they're just moving the shuffling forward. There we go. Okay, Taurus energy. What is going on with you, Taurus? Let's see. This is some intense energy today, too. I'm recording this on the 26th on the Sagittarian full moon lunar eclipse. So it is an intense day, but even for the rest of the week, for the rest of the month. So let's take a look at this, Taurus. What's going on? We do have Sagittarian energy here. We've got Leo energy. We've got Cancer energy. Okay. The heart of the situation is talking about some kind of, this is perseverance. This isn't necessarily the perseverance card. It's more like the standing up for you card. But I feel like with this Temperance reversed, it's like you've been having to really stand up for yourself a lot, or at least stand your ground for a particular situation. It's like people keep running over your boundaries somehow. It's like as soon as I get a little bit of balance, I keep having to tell these people what my boundaries are, and it's uncomfortable. That's what I'm hearing, Taurus. So interesting. This is about self-care. This is about self-care when it comes to things that you were trying to temper, things that you were trying to adjust and balance and bring together and alchemize. So we will get into this and we'll clarify also. Let's see. Coming from this place of kind of long anticipation for the other shoe to drop, or long anticipation for some kind of change to happen. It's like, I know the change is coming. I know that this is going to happen, but I've just been kind of like waiting for it. It hasn't been the right time, or, and that's not always a comfortable feeling of anticipation, the Tower card. So also, what's interesting here too is your advice is saying to go ahead and cut something off, abandon something, jump ship. Yeah. This would also be the card of take a look at what is draining you and remove it from your life. The big picture is talking about making a decision, or a decision being made, no longer waiting. So I'm wondering if this decision has to do with this anticipation, this anticipatory change that has been lurking around, Taurus. Okay, so your higher self is talking about also, here's that making a decision, and this is like no longer juggling, no longer being in two worlds at the same time. And then your angels and guides are talking about getting the hell out of Dodge, taking off on a journey, but also like moving forward at fast paced speed. And this is also with victory and confidence. The universe has got your back. I'm even hearing you're not flying solo, which is kind of a funny thing to say. You're not flying solo, whether literally that's with someone else or your guides are like, we're right here. Okay, so happening now and into the near future, looks like there's a lot of healing happening. Looks like there's maybe even a vacation, but this is wonderful. This is Oh, I want to say love, life, and laughter. Okay, and then there's some releasing of this. Interesting too, we've got resistance here with the Six of Cups. It's like there's resistance to some kind of old relationship, soulmate relationship, past life relationship. And then in the release, we have this emotional letting go. So it's like you've already released this, or you've gotten past this emotional letting go, or you need to. And it does look like something is draining you. Your advice is literally like giving yourself permission to cut something off or abandon something. And then this letting go, releasing something that was, I would say, pretty emotionally painful. And it looks like I've got resistance to this past life connection. Wow, even your trajectory is talking about unplugging from something. We're totally gonna clarify all of this. Okay, past, present, future. So in the past, it's like I had a hard time moving forward. I had a hard time getting the hell out of Dodge or moving on from this. There's this rite of passage that wasn't happening. Or it was even like being in denial about needing to be in the rite of passage. This could be about that too, being in denial of the big change. Something big, Taurus, had to happen, and you had to make a decision, or a decision had to be made, and all of this had to change. It was all about moving on and moving away from something. Okay, so happening now, it's like I can see differently. I can look at my past and see how I've grown and see how I've evolved. I think about things differently now. And the things that maybe I did or said, or the things that somebody else did or said, it was influential in a deceitful way. And it's also water under the bridge. I'm hearing somebody say I can take it or leave it. But what I feel like that's about is uh, like forgive and forget. Oh, I forgive you, but I don't forget. And somebody's like, well, I can take it or leave it. Sure, I forgive you. Whatever. It's like somebody's really talk about letting this go. It's like maybe it was hard at one time and it was, emotionally upsetting and it was hard to leave, but it's not now because I am unplugged. I've taken my energy out of this situation. Wow, Taurus, this is this feels quite passionate. This feels like somebody feels like they made a decision and they feel good about it and there isn't really any going back because of this deceit, but just because of feeling, I even feel like the person who was deceived feels guilt and shame for even being deceived. It's almost like they're saying to themselves, oh, I should have known better. But that's not necessarily true. Just saying. All right, let's go ahead and clarify all of this. What is this? What is going on, Taurus? Let's see. This one wants to come next. This one wants to go first. All right. Whatever you want, guys. All right, Taurus, let's look at this decision. This big picture decision. What has happened? Yeah, check that out. Somebody is harvesting or literally cutting something out, cutting something away, cutting something out, ending something. The decision was made. That's pretty clear. It was a hard decision, but somebody's happy about the decision. That's for sure. I mean, I feel like that's your energy, Taurus. I feel like you're happy about this decision. Let's check it out. Yeah, and this is so interesting because this is like you saw this coming. Like maybe this is the very thing that you've been planning for or anticipating or something. And now it's like if it's over, the trauma has stopped, or if it's over, the abuse has stopped, or the hurtful thing has stopped. It was just making the decision to do it was the hard thing. Let's take a look at this advice. It's literally like abandon, jump ship. Yeah, it's like think for yourself, for yourself. Think for yourself, for yourself. Okay, does that make sense? Yeah, it does. But this is like, romance a situation to get out of it what it is that you need. Literally, sometimes when this is about other people, you're like, yeah, you don't necessarily want this. But in this case, it's like basically you got to take care of you. And that's pretty much what this means. It even feels like maybe somebody's, I do feel like that. Somebody's trying to play a victim role, and they might have played this victim role for quite some time, but ultimately they're taking advantage. And so now you're like, yeah, no, not going to do it. Here's the Tower reversed. The anticipation of this. What is that about? Yeah, the anticipation was a difficult thing to overcome. Here's the Mountain. Your guides and angels are like, we're no longer in two worlds. We are focused. This is also laser focus. Laser focus, not juggling, no longer juggling anything. Yeah, some big image change. Somebody shattered a reality, and yeah, this really also feels like some codependence, like this long ongoing relationship that was difficult to leave. It just feels codependent, like it was just very difficult, even though, talk about the writing on the wall. Like, I am getting for someone that it's like they're dealing with someone who's actually sick. And this could be a mental illness, or this could be someone who has been sick, like immune system sick, for a long time. But there's some victim mentality here, and codependence, and this image being shattered. Finally, freedom. That's what the Sun card is too. Complete freedom. I can see it. It's like you dreamed it into existence, that's for sure. All right, let's take a look at people stepping all over your boundaries, Taurus. You say what you need, and it's like they act like they don't hear you, or they forget, or it's even like somebody saying, I never heard you say that. Here is this commitment. Yeah. Oh, wow. Wow, so interesting. So you say what it is you're going to do, or you talk about the terms of the agreement, you make a commitment, and somehow, maybe this could be somebody else, they make agreements, but they're shady, or they've got loopholes, or they commit to something, but they're ambiguous somehow, and they're not following through with what they said they would do. And then they're saying, like, I never did that. I never said that. That's not what I meant. You know, there's something, it's manipulation. And it might be manipulation from somebody who really needed your help. It feels like there's some guilt and shame involved in this. Long time coming here. What is this about? Yeah, it's like this is some shake it up energy. Somebody was super compassionate towards someone else who was taking advantage. I almost feel like this person who was taking advantage, man, they've got some energy that they really, really need to clear. And it's very, it feels old. It feels like they grew up with it, but it also feels like it is toxic. Ugh, very covert, you know? Um, let's look at this resistance, because this is somebody, it could be very well somebody in your family, somebody that you've known, somebody that's been in your soul pod, but your family. And that's why it's been, you know, hard to leave, but there's resistance to this connection. So let's take a look. Yeah, there's resistance to this connection, so much so that somebody's like, I have got to literally go somewhere. I've got to leave. I've got to travel somewhere. That feels like happening now and into the near future too. You might even go somewhere sunny. Love it. Okay, but let's take a look at this. So in the past, this would be about traveling too, but this is also that denial of needing to go through this rite of passage or the separation. So let's take a look at this past thing, Taurus. Huh. Somebody had it too good to be true. They really had you kind of like, I want to say, like under their thumb, kind of. They, and they were, you know, this little guy, he's gluttonous. He's asking for so much. He's expecting so much. I feel like somebody's expectations of you, they really expected a lot from you, but they weren't giving a lot back. Maybe they couldn't, for so many reasons, but you were not, I really feel like you were taken advantage of, Taurus. All right, let's take a look at you being able to see the light and see clearly. This has been, again, like this, it's almost like it's been going on for a lifetime. It's almost like this was your life responsibility, or it's possible that other people push this responsibility onto you. And now you're like, haha, I've had enough. This wasn't cool. Everybody knows it. I also feel like other people, other people are angry about it. Here are other people chit-chatting and talking about the decision that you made. You are so valid in the decision that you made. This advice is like, cut this off, get out of the situation. It is draining you. You need to romance a situation for yourself to make it work for you. And people are talking about the decision that you made to leave. They might even be angry about it, but ultimately what it seems like is a bunch of people gave you the responsibility of something and didn't show up for you, or they agreed to, but then they kind of like didn't follow through with what they said they were going to follow through with. And you're like, you know what? I ain't got time for this. I'm out. I'm unplugging from this. Literally, I'm making a decision to cut my losses, basically. Cut my losses. And that's the hand I've been dealt. Wow, how interesting is that? This is also saying that the minute you cut this off, if you already have, I feel like you already have. If you haven't, it is so close. But this is like, this is my choice. This is what I'm doing. The moment you do that, your whole energy is going to change. You're going to be free. This opens up your complete energy field for all sorts of good things that weren't able to come in before. Okay, I want to ask about the probable outcomes for this energy. Probable outcomes. Yeah, these are shuffling super easily now that it's time to use them. Love it how that works. What are the probable outcomes for Taurus? Wow. Okay, well, there's some review, which makes total sense because Mercury retrograde is almost upon us on the 29th. But here's that you're not leaving because you are an asshole. You're leaving because you have to. And there is a lot of love in your heart. There's a lot of love here. And you're even feeling like burdened by this. You're also looking back at what a burden this was, how hard this was, you know? And not that it's a burden like somebody is a burden, but like just how difficult and heavy all these responsibilities were. And you did this because there was love here. Otherwise, there would be no reason to do something like this. Because I'm not seeing that it was money related. Money could have been a factor here or there somewhere, but I'm not getting that the reason for doing whatever this was, for this committed agreement, didn't have to do with that. It was, it feels very familial, but there's reviewing about this hardship. And then again, you have the Eight of Swords reversed. It's like, okay, I saw it a particular way. Those were my stories. That's what I decided to take on. I thought those were my responsibilities, and maybe at the time they were. But now I've changed, I've evolved, and my responsibilities are different. And who decides that? I do. Not me, you. You know what I mean? Wow, check that out. Okay, so what this looks like, this does feel so familial. Here's the Ten of Pentacles. It's reversed. It's like dysfunctional family dynamics. And as soon as you kind of left those dynamics, this is you unplugging up here in your trajectory. Your whole energy changes, and here's your energy change. You get the Ace of Wands again. This is a passionate new beginning, but I even feel like, wow, I'm hearing a lease on life, a new lease on life, which is such a strange thing to say. Wow, so interesting. It's like you're just reviewing for so long. This connection was there, and I just stayed. I didn't know what was going to happen, but I was waiting. I waited around to find out. I waited and waited. It's like you were waiting and waiting for somebody to relieve you or take over or come help or something. But this is the probable outcome. This is you reviewing all of this and seeing it for what it was. And this is you now no longer having to suffer, no longer having to see things from a different perspective. You did that already. Somebody else is going to be upset about having to do that now, but it's their turn almost. Like, and it doesn't even matter about that. This is more about it's not your turn anymore. It doesn't matter really whose turn it is. It just isn't yours anymore. Wow, Taurus, let's get a yes or no. What do we got here? Check it out. I hope you picked did you pick your question? It's a straight up yes. I even feel like someone's asking, did I make the right decision? Well, that would be a yes, even though this might be sticky. And I understand it looks like it's familial, it looks like, or at least group dynamics. It has to do with a kind of community of some kind. Let's get another one here, some clarity. Big happy changes. So this big Ace of Wands, this passionate new beginning, big happy changes. I love it. We'll get one more. And get more information. Actually, somebody else wants to come out here and listen to your intuition. This, not only big happy changes and passionate new beginnings, but it's almost like you're saying, I am even like going down this path. I don't even know what I'm doing. I don't even know how to jump into this. I don't even know what this is yet. It's just like, get more information, listen to your intuition, like trust the universe. This is like the universe has your back, trust the universe, go. There's so much go energy here. Wow, Taurus. Well, ultimately, I ended up loving your reading. I hope this helps you, and let me know in the comments below. Like and subscribe. I'll see you soon for your June reading. Bye, Taurus.